Now the scientific explanation. The claws in the basic mammalian bowel plan are inherited from the basic reptilian bowel plan, which in turn arrive sometime in the Permian age in the amphibious bowel plan. But they are prefigured by the early armored fish, the bowfin fish, pardon me, our ancestors. Yes, it could have been different. We could have been all oogly squentiles from the Burgess Shale. But the chance and the humor of the gods cast us in this form, the toenail form. By clipping our toenails, we have the illusion that we're cutting back the beast flesh and moderating the claws which grow from the end of our appendages.
Why do men love guitars more than bitches? Why is that, Hal?
Well, just offhand, as a guess, I would say that men love what gives a predictable response, not what gives a response that can never be predicted.
Why do deer, bunnies, goats poop perfectly round pellets? That's a good question. Is it the shape of their colon, their sphincter? I realize that they are prey, and therefore the benefits, but I was curious as to how. How do they shit perfectly round little balls? Good question.
Well, of course, it takes practice, but these are, as you point out, vegetarian creatures. But one reason is they don't have time to create large so-called logs of excreta. If you're the king of the food chain, then you may. But on the other hand, if you are a furtive forest creature, you'll have to do your business and get out of there, because you've just left a calling card of great interest to Brer Fox and the drunken pair of hunters closing on your burrow.
In short, what is the essence of hipsterness?
Well, what is the essence of hipsterness? What makes a hip person or a hippie? Where did this come from? A hip person is one who has a certain amount of esoteric knowledge. A person who is hip to that knowledge, who knows about something comparatively outre, and then, because of this, is defined by that worldview, completely and irrevocably, and is satisfied to be so defined. Because one can be hip to developments without being an obnoxious, posing hipster, with all the accessories that come with it, and concomitant expenses. From my lofty perch, I have observed no particular offenses, but it wouldn't surprise me to know that they occurred. We can't expect perfection, even here at the Ask Dr. Hal show. And I have to apologize for that, if it's true, because then I have failed to command their attention, and they have been up to their devilment. But it could be that you, the writer of this question, are more paranoid than usual, and of a habit to blame others for how you may personally fall short in satisfaction or perception. Please take a moment of your time to consider whether this is so.
But to help answer your question, like when you say, what is the essence of hipsterism?
Hey, Rob. San Francisco.
There it is. American Apparel, eat your heart out.
Yeah, I mean, this is the truly hip, not the false eidolon held before you by the conspiracy. Remember,
You can't sell that in the store.
the conspiracy wants to take away your original slack and sell you false slack, which you will know is false because you are continually jonesing for more of it. True slack would have satisfied you in the inimitable manner of K-Rock. The same.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we are at the indeed true last question. So Hal, what is the saddest thing you've ever lost? And this is our last question. What is the saddest thing you ever lost?
I've lost friends, I've lost family members, I've lost animals that were my companions, I've lost places, I've lost things, I've lost ideas which at one time I held on as a cherished part of my own makeup. But if you move forward in time, you have to expect this falling away. And of all the things that I have lost, the thing that I regret losing the most is time, which once gone can never be reacquired. Time has endless rarities and shows of all varieties, but must have a stop. And then there's no time for regrets or anything else before the inevitable embrace of oblivion. The sons of the prophet are many and bold, and quite unaccustomed to fear. But the bravest by far in the ranks of the Shah was Abdul Bulbul Amir. If you wanted a man to encourage the van, or harass the foe from the rear, or storm fort or redoubt, you had only to shout for Abdul Bulbul Amir. Now the heroes are plenty and worthy of fame in the troops that are led by the Tsar. But the boldest of these was a man by the name of Ivan Skivinsky Skivar. He could imitate Irving, play poker and pool, and strum on the Spanish guitar. Oh yes, quite the cream of the Muscovite team was Ivan Skivinsky Skivar. One day this bold Russian had shouldered his gun and donned his most truculent sneer. And downtown he did go, where he trod on the toe of Abdul Bulbul Amir. "Young man," said Abdul, "has life grown so dull that you cease that now to end your career? Vile infidel, no, you have trod on the toe of Abdul Bulbul Amir." Said Ivan, "My friend, your remarks in the end will avail you but little, I fear, for you'll never survive to repeat them alive, Mr. Abdul Bulbul Amir. Then take your last look at the sunshiny brook, and send your regrets to the Tsar. By this I imply you are going to die, Mr. Ivan Skivinsky Skivar." Then this wild Mameluke drew his trusty skibook with a loud cry of Allah Akbar. With murderous intent he ferociously went for Count Ivan Skivinsky Skivar. They parried and thrust, they sidestepped and cussed, of lifeblood they spilled a great pot. The philologist blokes who so seldom crack jokes say that hash was first made on that spot. They fought through the night by the yellow moonlight, and the din it was heard from befar, and huge multitudes came, for so great was the fame of Ivan Skivinsky Skivar. As Abdul's curved knife was extracting a life, in fact he was shouting, "Huzzah!" He felt himself struck by that wily Kalmuk, Count Ivan Skivinsky Skivar. The Sultan drove by in his red-breasted fly, intending the victor to cheer. But he only drew nigh to hear the last sigh of Abdul Bulbul Amir. Tsar Petrovich, too, with his spectacles blue, drove up in his gilded blue car. He arrived just in time to exchange a last line with Ivan Skivinsky Skivar. There's a tomb rising up where the blue Danube flows, where graven in characters clear it says, "Stranger, when passing, please pray for the soul of Abdul Abulbul Amir." A splash in the Black Sea one dark moonless night sent ripples abroad wide and far. It was made by a sack fitting close to the back of Ivan Skivinsky Skivar. A Muscovite maiden her love vigil keeps, 'neath the light of the pale polar star, and the name she incessantly sighs as she weeps is Ivan Skivinsky Skivar. Go in peace and make war no more. See you next time.